Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, ChellAndTell, where I'm Michelle and I share what I think. So today, we're going to be talking about something that's near and dear to my heart, very important. We're going to be talking about long-distance relationships. I would never in a million years have considered an international long-distance relationship ever. It sounds very unfeasible. It sounds too expensive, too unrealistic, impossible. Yet here I am all these years later and we're still figuring it out, but we are still together, still very much in love, and the happiest I've ever been. First, I want to start off by saying there's actually a lot of positives to being in a long distance relationship. I feel like everything is magnified, and I'll get more into that in a minute. If your soulmate just happens to be far away from you, don't give up on it. Don't give up on it, because it could be the best thing you ever did. I feel like marrying my husband was the best thing I ever did. If you have found the man of your dreams, stick it out, girl. Hang in there. Be committed to the cause. So I have some pillars, some structural pillars for the foundation of your long distance relationship to keep it nice and structurally sound. If we were metaphorically building a building of your relationship, I guess. I don't know where that was going. So there are 8 different categories. My husband helped me, by the way, and I was like, okay, I want to make a video summarizing what we think are like successful points that really helped our relationship, and his input was definitely very much so a part of these. So the first thing is communication. Communication is obviously so key in any relationship, but again, like I said, the whole magnifying thing, I feel like if you're in a long distance relationship and you aren't practicing good communication skills, it will just really create your relationship to crumble, because it's not like you're going to bump into each other. You're not going to see each other at home. You're not going to see each other for dinner. If you don't physically pick up the phone or send them a text message, that communication line is dead, and then you're just going to grow apart from each other, and it's just going to be not a happy ending, right? Need to communicate. Ask questions, be a part of their day, like try. I know that how's your day going? Good, how's yours? Can get boring after like day 50, but you have to ask more, or tell stories about your day, like make your loved one feel like they lived your day through them. Express the hard times, express the good times, share your joy even though you're far away. Do your best. Trust is everything, as most people know, but in a long distance relationship, I feel like it is absolutely essential. I should say trust and honesty. You shouldn't be wondering if what they're telling you is the truth, if you think they're really there, or if they're gonna do what they said they're gonna do, all those things. No, it's just, if you don't have trust, it will be very hard to have a successful relationship. It's like a massive foundational quality for a successful relationship of any kind. Effort is another really important thing. If both parties don't really want this relationship to work, it just simply won't. You want to get into a relationship willingly, where you know that you guys both have the same end goal. It's to make it work, and you guys both really care about each other, and you care about each other's feelings and what each other wants. It has to be sacrifices made on both people's part. So if effort isn't being brought to the table, if only one person is and the other person isn't, eventually the person who's bringing all the effort is probably going to get fed up by the other person who isn't. So you want to make sure there's like a combined team effort of effort. A lot of word effort, but you know what I mean. Like, you really both have to want it, because it's not going to be easy. Expectations and goals is like really important. I feel like when you are long distance dating, you kind of strip away all of the fluff. Like, you know, when you're dating, you go out to dinner, you go see a movie, you go whatever, shopping, hang out at each other's house. There's so much surface level conversation you can have, like, how was that pasta? What did you think about that movie? Oh, did you meet my friend Sally? Like, surface level stuff. Whereas when you're far away from each other, it's much more easy, and you should be getting into like deep stuff. Like, what does your soul desire? What do you want of the future? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? Like, what are your non-negotiables? All those kinds of things. And when you're in a long distance relationship, you have the relocation situation. Every long distance couple's dream is to close the gap. If you don't have that chat of like, are you guys both open to relocate somewhere else? Or what's the situation? And then you just find yourself like 10 years later, so going back and forth, and neither one are ready to give. You know, these are the kind of conversations that are helpful to have in the beginning. Super important to lay out each other's expectations. You can find out if you're on the same path, if you guys really want similar things, or if you want totally separate things. And even though you guys have a really good time together, maybe you just aren't as compatible as you thought. As I'm editing, I realized I forgot to mention one of the key categories on my list, which was planning ahead. Planning ahead is really important when it comes to your visits and the time you get to spend together. The time you physically get to spend together is everything in a long distance relationship. So what we found to be really effective was we tried to have our next visit to each other on the books before we had to say goodbye at the airport. Having a positive outlook is really important because it's so easy to sit there when you're not with your partner and you're having to be separated and think like, woe is me, I can't believe it, another wedding I have to go to without my partner, another birthday alone, another this, another Valentine's Day apart, whatever, boo-hoo, poor me. Anyone can do that. And if you don't just think like, wow, I'm so happy last Valentine's Day we were together, or last time I saw him we had this fabulous dinner, we'll call that our Valentine's Day dinner, or whatever. Do whatever you want that makes you feel better about the situation, but you have to look at the positives, because if you pick out everything that sucks about being apart, you'll find plenty of things, because it's just the reality of it. Always look for the positive, focus in on that positive. On the same note of having a positive outlook, you really want to have like a solid support system. Your family and friends should be supportive of the situation you're in, the fact that you are going to be going through hard times and you do have someone who is far away that you love so much and you don't get to see all the time. If you don't have a supportive group around you, I would imagine that would be really hard. Thank God I did not experience that. My family and friends were really supportive. They love my husband. They were always really understanding of our situation. There was never like any negative, like, why are you with him, or why would you go through that, or it will never work. I didn't experience that, but I could imagine if you are surrounded by a lot of naysayers and people telling you your relationship is silly, stuff like that, it could maybe mess with your head. So I would make sure you are sticking with people who are respectful and supportive of your situation. You don't want anything negative or toxic to bring you down. You just want to propel to the future and be in a happy place. So having a positive circle is super key. Being independent, like, you have to have your own identity, your own things that make you happy. When you're apart from your partner, you should still be able to have other pockets of your life that bring you joy. If your whole happiness is dependent on your partner and you're doing a long distance relationship, when you're apart, you're going to be a wreck. Having your own independence and having things, whatever they may be, and people, whoever they may be, to bring you joy is gonna really pass the time and make everything be better. And then if you're not happy with your life when you're apart, you're just gonna be nasty and mean probably to your partner, which is not gonna help your relationship get past this long distance. So definitely make sure you're in a good place and you have the people around you and you have the activities and you listen to your heart and do the things that bring you joy. So besides the 8 categories, a few things to just be open-minded about, to keep your eyes peeled, if you will, would be cultural differences, disagreements, and perspectives. Those 3 things, because I feel like disagreements, arguments, fights, whatever you want to call them, it's gonna happen. And it's important for it to happen, because if you feel strongly opposite of your partner and you don't vocalize that and you just keep it in, it's not good. It's not good for anyone, because then your partner doesn't know how you truly feel, then you're just suppressing it, all bad news. Perspective, it's important to try and understand what your partner's perspective is. This kind of goes along with disagreements. Like, even if whatever your partner's point is you don't really understand, it's important to try and find a solution for you guys to try and understand each other. Even if you don't agree with each other, you should at least be able to be like, I do understand where you're coming from, even though I think you're being a little irrational, a little sensitive, a little over dramatic, or a little whatever it is, and then kind of find like a middle ground, whatever that may be. Cultural differences are an interesting one. You want to be open-minded, because you could have not even the slightest clue. What your partner's doing is totally normal from where they're from, and for you it's like weird. I have an example. So the first time I got to meet like Michael's family and friends, we had been dating already for a little while, and Michael, when he would speak to me, he wouldn't really use that much British terminology, because I guess he knew that I didn't really understand British terminology, so he just would like not use it, which is, I guess, considerate of him, but then possibly did me a disservice, because I wasn't very aware of British terminology when I was meeting people who were British, so that was confusing. Okay, so this isn't really that like significant. It's a small scale example. A lot of people in England will greet each other by saying, "You all right?" When I came here and everyone's looking at me saying, "You all right?" I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm thinking, Do I look that awful? Am I that jet lagged? Why is everyone asking me if I'm all right? Of course I'm all right. I'm finally with my man. I'm all right. But in British terminology, like, you all right is basically like, how are you doing? It's like the same thing, but I didn't realize that. Like, the only time an American would ask someone else, like, you all right, is like if they fell down a flight of stairs, they'd be like, ooh, you all right? Like, or if you just look like you've been to hell and back, like, ooh, are you all right? Or like you just got dumped, are you all right? Like, we just don't say, are you all right? Like, just because. There has to be some sign showing someone else that you don't look all right. And then that is typically when another American would ask an American, are you all right? That is just a cultural difference, and I didn't realize that was like a regular form of greeting one another. The point of this video is to help long distance lovers close the gap, have a successful relationship. And I hope this video did just that. I hope everyone finds the love of their life and is in a happy, loving relationship. I should say a happy, healthy, loving relationship. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!